Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome to Road Odyssey. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Opposed to the person that owns the 1965 Mustang. It was going to be a really great build. Now it's not. The whole build process has blown up and therefore it's a no-go. In this video, being part 2 of the 65 Mustang build, I will show you kind of where it's come from, where it was going to, and now where it is not. And that kind of foreshadowing the whole theme of this video. Yes, I will be going over the 65 Mustang. As we get towards the end of this, I will go over examples of other car builds that have gone wrong. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that information embedded within this in order to make the point that owners, when y'all buy a car, when you have a project car, learn about that car, everything about it that you can. Have a good budget for that car and really talk to the shops that are going to be involved with that build. Otherwise, anything can happen. So, on that great and bright and lovely note, let's get into it. I began this story of the Mustang being trailered to Callaway Customs on June 19th, 2024. Well, now the car is going back to the body shop. The whole body is just way off. But before I get to that, let's just kind of see what I was hoping to do for this part 2 video. Here we go with that. I begin here in September 2024. The car had been sitting for a long time, just packed with many of the parts waiting to be put on, waiting for customer payments, making the build move ahead slowly. Doing a serious full build typically needs to be done in a precise set of steps. Lack of planning and funding can kill a project car's future. Work at Callaway Customs began again in mid-November 2024. Alex had gone around the chassis and working on that suspension, doing a fine job. From the end of November and through December, they began installing the radiator and other parts in the engine bay to get the engine running, wires, hoses, whatnot. Installed the brake and clutch pedals, which took some custom fitting. The Willwood brake system was continued and the steering column was started as well. Come December the 10th, they installed the exhaust system, shorty headers, pipes muffler with an X pipe, which is really cool. Come the middle of January 2025, things really began getting weird. Really major problems. First off, the Callaways realized that the trunk lid didn't fit right. Well, it fit, but it looked like it was warped. So they had a new trunk lid ordered. Also, the doors had been delivered. Unfortunately, the paint along the top had a huge amount of orange peel. Actually, the painting all over the doors just did not look very well at all. To continue this pain, the Callaway showed me again with a second trunk lid received and tested. Well, it didn't fit, but the whole rear quarters, bumper, upper rear end, and bottom rear valance didn't match up at all. Weird gaps everywhere were suddenly realized. Hit and miss body work. So nothing fit. Just everything in the rear end was absolutely wrong. The Callaways escaped the bodywork problem for a little while longer. Come February 20th, they did some engine programming and got that done. The body problems just wouldn't go away though. Although I missed the new lower front bumper valance install, I was told it didn't fit right. Surprise, surprise. The Callaways installed the original lower valance and that did fit right. Now the body shop will have to fix that problem. The Callaways received the hood, installed it, and instantly saw it didn't fit, or something didn't fit. The hood protrudes beyond the fenders and light bezels. You might notice that the light bezels are just not right as well. Every part of the body just does not fit right. It is awful. It was, and still is, my opinion, only my opinion, that the Callaways got caught with this Mustang as a bad project, and they really should have taken on something that showed that it could be done properly. Before continuing, I must say that I do not know the owner or the paint and body shop people. They're probably very nice, good people. I'm not placing judgment on who they really are. My armchair observations thus far are the owner was buying too many parts that were wrong, looking to save money, something that the hot rod shop needs to do. The owner wasted vital money destined for other work. It also wasted time. The car sat idle at the Callaways many times for many weeks as they waited for new parts and labor payments. The owner pushed for work to be done quickly, trying to get the engine, transmission, wiring, and so forth done before the body work was completed at the paint and body shop. The story I got was that the paint and body shop owner was seriously ill, causing delays, making the owner anxious. Therefore, the owner forced the car to be taken to the Callaways, resulting in this out of proper build sequence, financial issues, and thrashing chaotic situation. Had the Callaways known everything, they would not have allowed all of this to happen. The Callaways' trust and empathy for the owner is commendable. Ultimately, though, it is an example of a bad build process. If you are new to project car builds, here is, I guess you'd say, a guideline to follow, though it's not written in stone. Custom project car builds have a proper set of sequences to follow. Some things can be done in parallel or at the same time. Preparing the engine and transmission ahead of other work can be okay. Some obviously usable parts can be acquired early if planning is done well, like wiring, headlights, and so forth. Some work should never be done out of sequence. You should never do body work, exhaust, or engine work while making and installing interior work. Interior work is best done last. Never get a new frame and chassis bought without verifying the full dimensions of the car's body. Here are some examples of planning mistakes. A MG project. This MG was flooded over halfway in seawater. After looking the car over, the shop declared the car dead. Flooded cars can be done, but rarely a wise idea. A 1970 Corvette project. It had the whole front clip taken off to get the full bird cage repaired. I have seen this work done before. A 1966 Corvette had the front clip cut off. A new front clip installed. The shop verified that the front clip was on correctly by placing the body back on the original chassis with the right wheels and tires. Everything checked out. Back to the 1970 Corvette, the front clip was replaced and seemed right. Measurements looked correct. When the new chassis and body were married together, the new chassis' wheelbase length was found to be short by about an inch. They had to trim the wheel well a little for the wheels to not rub. A F100 project, one of many from a shop that constantly took cars into upholstery before the engine and wiring was done. The engine, being in the truck already, was worked on. Wiring in the cab was perfectly pre-done by the upholstery shop. The truck went back to the mechanics and then back to the upholstery, back to the mechanics, back to the upholstery. All the wiring in the dash got completely messed up by the mechanics, making the upholstery shop have to redo it. A Cadillac LaSalle project. The Cadillac engine and wiring was not completed, but the car went to upholstery early. Well, ultimately the mechanics removed all the protection of the upholstery, thinking everything was done, but no, they had some tweaking to do. Got grease stains on the door card, armrest, and seat. Really an expensive problem. Car owners, people that want to do a really cool project build, well, if those owners lack knowledge, and I mean lack all the knowledge for that car, lack experience in these custom hot rod shops, custom builds, you know, that is a formula for disaster right there. Therefore, for hot rod shops and for customers to get along and for these projects to get built out correctly, it begins with a well-informed, smart customer. Customers need to have a budget, give the money to the shop, let the shop buy the right parts. Shops are going to have, you know, experience in knowing what to buy and what parts belong with a specific application. So let the shops take care of it. So customers, car owners, do your best to be smart, knowledgeable, get whatever experience you can, and have a huge budget. Just be ready. There's millions and millions of reasons why a project car can go bad. So it is upon the customer, the owner of the car, to do the best they can to really research. Go out to car shows, go to other shops, just do a lot of research on the internet. Whatever you can do, learn about the car that you want to build, 100%. And then on top of that, when you budget for that car, don't just budget for, this ought to be enough. No, you double or triple the amount of money and maybe even the time to expect to use on a car build. That's just the way it is. So you've really got to be careful. And I guess I'm very glad you were careful enough to watch all of this video and get to this point. So thank you very much. Please subscribe down below, hit that like button, and view. Viewing is what really makes the YouTube world go around. It will make or break a channel. I have tons and tons of videos, hundreds of them. Do a little bit of a search, look around, and see what you can find for some of my other videos. I would really appreciate that very much. And with that, hey, thank you again. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, and please relax. Take it easy, and I will see you later. Bye.